Alrighty, we are here with the skeletal system. Let's get it. We are getting down to the wire, ladies and gentlemen. But a skeletal system, so a system, as we've discussed before, just a quick review, is a group of similar or organs with similar function and structure working together for the same purpose. So the skeletal system is no different. It's a group of organs working together to create this beautiful skeletal system that's so important to us, really, and we're going to learn why in a second. But the organs of the skeletal system are the bones, the joints, the tendons, and ligaments. So, bones, joints, tendons is muscle to bone. Ligaments is whenever bone connects to bone. So, those are the organs of the skeletal system. Let's crawl on down to the functions of the skeletal system. So, skeletal system functions are movement, protection, provide the framework, supporting of other structures, hematopoiesis, mineral storage, and nutrient storage. So, movement. The skeletal system works in conjunction with the muscular system to provide movement. So an analogy for this is think of like the track of a roller coaster that allows the carts, which are the muscles, to move people through the ride. So the track of the roller coaster is kind of like the skeletal system, and it allows the carts muscles to move people through the ride there. So movement is one function of the skeletal system. Also, got protection. So example, like the skull protects the brain, the sternum protects the lungs and the heart, same with the ribs, all that stuff. But kind of like a casing that protects the body's organs, the skeletal system is. Skeletal system also provides the framework, so everything pretty much stacks on top of the skeletal system. If you think about it, skeletal system is actually the deepest system in our body, so everything really goes on top of the skeletal system. You got the muscles on the skeleton, and then obviously skin and then the integumentary system on top of the muscles there. But the skeletal system provides that framework, and skeletal system also supports other structures. So, for instance, the bones of the lower extremity support the muscles of the lower extremity, or the cervical vertebrae support the head, and so on and so forth. So the skeleton is kind of like a large beam that holds a deck up. So a nice pool deck. You do your cannonballs off of your cantaloupes, whatever cool little tricks you do. Don't dive if it's short water, but kind of like the beam the skeletal system is that holds the deck up, so it provides support to other structures of the body. Skeletal system also plays a factor or functions in mineral storage. So the main minerals stored are calcium and phosphorus or phosphate. So we're going to focus on calcium here, though, primarily. So calcium in the bone, it strengthens the bone, but in the blood, calcium functions in muscle contraction, nerve conduction, and also clotting of blood there. So three important parts of calcium in the blood. It's the nerve conduction, muscle contraction, like having the heart pump, which is pretty damn important, and blood clotting as well, which is critical as well. But so if we need calcium in the blood, we'll actually break down calcium in the bone so we can have it in the blood. So calcium is important in the bone, but it's even more important in the blood, which is a common misconception. And when I was getting into this information, I was kind of surprised by that, to be honest. I was like, oh, calcium in the blood strengthens the bone. Drink your damn milk. True, but calcium is very important in the blood for that nerve conduction, muscle contraction, and also blood clotting here. So if we need that calcium in the blood, boom, break it down, and we're going to learn what structures break down the calcium from the bone to release it into the blood. But right now we just need to know that minerals are stored in the bone and in the blood, and that's an important function of the skeletal system is the mineral storage, especially calcium phosphate, but especially that calcium there. Also, skeletal system functions in hematopoiesis. So hematopoiesis is the production of formed elements. So it's the production of new blood. Formed elements, if you recall, there's leukocytes, erythrocytes, and platelets. Leukocytes are white blood cells. They help fight infection, help fight viruses. Erythrocytes are the red blood cells. They transport oxygen and CO2 all throughout the body. Pretty damn important. And platelets are a factor in clotting, so they help the blood to clot. So hematopoiesis, the production of formed elements, does occur in red bone marrow. So we're going to discuss more on red bone marrow, but just right now we need to know formed elements, the leukocytes, erythrocytes, and the platelets are all produced in the red bone marrow, and that process is called hematopoiesis, so the production of formed elements. And last but certainly not least, the function of the skeletal system, that's the one we're talking about, is nutrient storage. So yellow bone marrow is a different type of bone marrow, so we'll discuss and differentiate that in a future video. But yellow bone marrow, right now we just need to know it's adipose tissue. This yellow bone marrow, the fatty acid can be broken down from this adipose, this yellow bone marrow, and that can be used to produce ATP. So the nutrient storage is there. We hold these nutrients in our yellow bone marrow, break it down, production of ATP, which is the cell's energy currency. So that's where our energy is derived from. So the functions of the skeletal system are movement, protection, provide the framework, support other structures, mineral storage, hematopoiesis, and nutrient storage. So that's a good starter for us. And obviously that organs, just a reminder, bones, joints, tendons, and ligaments. What's a tendon? You got it, muscle to bone. What's a ligament? Yeah, no shit, bone to bone. We'll see you back here soon.